This week on The Splash, we pay a visit to the Rotary Club. Then we enjoy an afternoon of music at the library. And later, a hidden treasure at the Town Hall Plaza. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash.
Welcome to The Splash. Happy New Year. I'm Brooke Allen. Media plays a key role in each of our lives. And recently, the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield held a discussion on that impact with a very special guest. Reporter Tyler Kieft has the story.
The Rotary Club of West Bloomfield kicked off the new year by inviting members and the community to discuss issues of importance in greater West Bloomfield and the world at large. With the media in a constant state of evolution, they invited our very own Dave Scott to talk about the recent history of technological development in the media and how our current media landscape not only came to be what it is, but how our modern practices will change the media of the future. Additionally, Dave spoke to the Rotary Club about the role operations like ours at Civic Center TV play in the community, with our key roles on top of telling the stories of the people of Greater West Bloomfield being to disseminate community information in a succinct, informative, and efficient manner, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The Rotary Club learned that as media continues to fragment, evolve, grow, and become more interactive, it is the duty of each and every one of us to incorporate our own knowledge in order to understand the full scope of what we are learning from the media we consume, and to incorporate that into our daily lives. What we learn from the media impacts how we work, play, and interact. And in being dutiful and critical consumers of media, we are better able to learn just what makes Greater West Bloomfield a community for all. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Tyler Kieft.
To find out more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/Rotary Club Media. There are a number of programs offered at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, but few have the staying power of Music at Main. We sent reporter Lawrence Nyland to find out more about this local tradition.
West Bloomfield residents were treated to an afternoon of outstanding music at the public library. The concert was the latest in a series called Music at Main, and the featured band was a jazz quartet which found its way to West Bloomfield with the help of Ken Napo from the Friends of the Library.
We bring in acts from all over the country and beyond, a number of Canadian acts. Today's is jazz. We have some Broadway. It's much more diverse. It makes West Bloomfield kind of a center for culture. We're very proud of that.
I'll be home late tonight.
Veteran Detroit jazz artist Stefan Kukuruga led the eclectic quartet, and he was ecstatic to expose the band's talents to his current hometown of West Bloomfield.
I just love sharing music in general, and showing people are seeing that we're creating in the moment, which is a lot of what I think jazz is, personally. So I'm excited that they're game to have this sort of thing going on here. Of course, I'm excited because they do all kinds of stuff here at the West Bloomfield Library, so I'm thrilled they bring all these various acts and they try to keep it diverse.
Stefan's bandmates on this afternoon were Dwight Adams on trumpet.
Dwight plays for Stevie Wonder's band. He plays with James Carter all over the world and all kinds of other ensembles all over the world.
Ralph Armstrong on bass.
Ralph is traveling all over the world also in all different kinds of, mostly jazz shows, but he's played many commercial shows with Aretha Franklin or Oak Klug and all kinds of stuff.
And Skeeto Valdez on drums.
Skeeto is famous, especially in this part of the country, and internationally too. One of the favorite drummers here in Detroit, for sure.
That's Mia playing the piano.
A very special moment occurred when Stefan called up to the stage the two youngest musicians in the audience, local residents Mia Collingum and Satsuki Kimura.
You don't see kids at events like this that often playing live music if you're playing in clubs or concerts and stuff. So you see a couple of kids, and I play in a church downtown Detroit every Sunday morning. Kids will show up during the service and play with me. And so I thought, well, maybe these kids would enjoy that. What I love to find out, you could see how immediately, with no discussion at all, they got the idea of the rhythm, and I gave them a rule of black keys, so they started creating. Now, if we had a chance to do it for 5 minutes, I would get them to loosen up, and they would be more percussive, more syncopated. It'd be much more interesting, even musically, for them and for everybody listening. So it's a quick sort of litmus test, if you will, to get them rolling, getting them involved in music without talking about it. Forget talking about it. We can study it for a year and then play, or we can play right now.
Reporting for The Splash, this is Lawrence Nyland.
For more information, feel free to stop by our website at civiccentertv.com/musicupmaine. Coming up, we explore trinkets of West Bloomfield and then a new episode of Sidewalk Talk.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV. And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for being with us. The Friends of the West Bloomfield Library play an important role in supporting programs that are enjoyed by individuals and families year-round at the Civic Center Plaza. The Friends also run a special program that provides the community with new adventures and also a piece of their hometown. Reporter Ryan Younglove has the story.
Here in the West Bloomfield Township Public Library is the Friend Shop, where local volunteers dedicate time to help the community.
We moved to West Bloomfield in 2000 and joined the library pretty much immediately, but we became friends of the library, joined the Friends of the Library in about 2003, so that's about 15 years ago. The Friends of the Library are here basically to support the library. We continue their mission of outreach to the community and that sort of stuff. So the main thing we do is, of course, we sell used books. People very generously donate books to the library, hardcover books, sometimes even recent books, and they bring them to the library, bring them to these bins that are located outside, and the Friends of the Library collect those books. We sort them, price them, and then sell them. As you can see here, right around here, we can sell books here and also in book sales. And the money that we generate from that then goes back to the library to support things that are outside of their normal budget.
The Friend Shop has been around for many years and brings joy to all that are involved.
The good part is indeed helping the people at the book sales and getting involved here in the bookstore, coming up with books that we also have a request system where people can request books, and I get involved in that, where the people have a specific book they want, and they fill out a request sheet, and then I look to see if we get it. Of course, it has to be donated before we can pass it along to someone else, but that's kind of a rewarding thing to actually find a book that somebody's been looking for a class or for some particular activity, and that's kind of fun. And the people are the best part of actually dealing with the Friends. The other Friends members are all, of course, they're all also interested in books and libraries and reading and how important reading is, and reading is fundamental, as they say. So that's also the important part of it, I think. Yep.
As one of the biggest Friend Shop groups in the state, they hope to continue helping the community here in the greater West Bloomfield. This has been Ryan Younglove reporting for The Splash.
For more information, you can visit civiccentertv.com/friendshop. Now it's time for Sidewalk Talk, where reporter Samana Sheikh asks the people of greater West Bloomfield another interesting question.
My biggest pet peeve is when people make weird noises when they're talking. What about you, West Bloomfield? What's your biggest pet peeve?
People who lie. Just tell me the truth, tell me what you need, and we'll take care of it. People eating loud, it drives me absolutely bonkers. I cannot handle it. People just smacking and, hitting the bowl hard and biting the spoon or the fork. I'm like, yo, it's not what it's made for, okay?
Well, you would most likely not want to be around me while I'm eating.
Okay, yeah, I gotta go.
My biggest pet peeve is people with no common sense. It can be just no common sense. The simplest things. Give me some water. They'll have ice in it and bring it back with ice. I said, just the water. You know what I mean? It irks me. It irks me.
I can't even really think of anything that really gets to me where I'm just like, I can't stand this. So I don't really have one.
Okay. Well, you're one of the few people I've talked to like this.
I have a thing about respect. If I respect you, I expect it back in return. So if I don't call you out your name, if I don't curse or swear at you, I expect the same. And if you violate that, then I'll pull you to the side. Hey, look, I would never call you out your name. Don't do it to me.
What is your biggest pet peeve and why?
Probably people that can't drive because I have really bad road rage.
And how bad is your road rage? Do you honk? Do you scream?
I just scream from inside my car.
I think judgment is my biggest pet peeve. I think everyone has the right to be who they are, and to put labels on people sometimes superficially misidentifies people.
I agree completely. I really feel like we all need to stick together and have unity.
Mm-hmm. I agree as well.
Ooh, I only have a few of them. From a job standpoint is when I try to ask people what to do, and they don't do it. Otherwise, my biggest pet peeve is just people not paying attention and not, just being in la-la land all the time. If more people paid attention to the world and less about themselves, it'd be a better place.
No surprise, more great answers. Join us again for another episode of Sidewalk Talk.
For more episodes of Sidewalk Talk on Demand, visit civiccentertv.com/sidewalk talk. Now it's time for the Civic Center TV event update. We provide you with upcoming events around Greater West Bloomfield. And for more events coming up, visit civiccentertv.com/events. Let's Talk, an ESL group discussion group, Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Anyone learning English or who wants to improve their skills is welcome during this English language discussion group. A tutor from the Oakland Literacy Council will facilitate the conversation and help all who attend become stronger with their English language skills. Feel free to drop in for all or part of the session. For more information, call 248-232-2290 or visit wblib.org. Operation Medicine Cabinet. Dispose of your expired and or unused prescriptions anonymously, no questions asked. Operation Medicine Cabinet helps keep all of our citizens safer, protecting young people from the harmful misuse of prescription drugs, and also understanding the needs of seniors and the environmental implications related to improper disposal of medications. West Bloomfield Township and also the cities of Keego Harbor and Orchard Lake Village are community participants in this program. You can drop off your medication at Keego Harbor City Hall Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. At Orchard Lake City Hall Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. except holidays, and 7 days per week at the West Bloomfield Police Department. For more information, visit oakgov.com/sheriff. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce installation of board officers happens January 11th at 7:30 a.m. at Notting Hill of West Bloomfield. Join the Chamber as they introduce their new board members who will serve for the upcoming year. 48th District Court Judge Diane DiAgostini will officiate the ceremony, and the event will be hosted by WDIV reporter Jermont Terry. Members can register for the event for $15, non-members for $25. To RSVP, send an email to wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com. Read to a Dog, January 13th from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Library. What happens when you bring children, dogs, and books together? You get happy, confident children who love to read. Trainers with their well-behaved certified therapy dogs will be on hand so elementary students can practice independent reading skills while reading to a friendly canine companion. No registration is required, and if you're interested in having your certified therapy dog participate in the program, please call the Youth Services Department at 248-232-2250 to learn about eligibility requirements and also the application process. For more information, visit wblib.org. The Ice Harvesting Open House is Sunday, January 13th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Orchard Lake Museum. Join the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society for their monthly open house focused on the history of ice harvesting. Prior to modern-day refrigerators, ice was the only means to keep our perishable groceries cold and fresh. And the area lakes provided not only local residents and businesses ice for refrigeration, but much of the ice was loaded on trains and cars and shipped to Detroit for the meat processing industry. Ron Hansen will share his family's ice cutting saw and photos of the saws being used on Orchard Lake and Pine Lake. And you can take your chance to try cutting a block of ice and make an ice cone. There's no charge to attend. For more information on this and other upcoming open houses, visit gwbhs.org. Mind University presents Brain Benefits of Yoga Therapy, January 16th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. at the Jewish Family Service in West Bloomfield. Join Jewish Family Service when yoga therapist Veronica Zadar will discuss the brain benefits of yoga therapy. This is another edition of Jewish Family Services' Mind University program. Mind University is home to Jewish Family Services' cognitive wellness offerings, providing cognitive training classes by distributing materials, monitoring participants' progress, and answering questions. Participation is free, but registration is required to reserve your spot. For more information, call 248-592-2671. The 25th Annual United We Walk event, January 20th at 2:30 p.m. at West Bloomfield High School. Join the school district and the community for a celebration of the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The 2019 theme is MLK 365 on the Run. What are we doing for others? This event is free to attend. For more information, visit the West Bloomfield School District's website at wbsd.org. And that's this week's highlights. You can find more events online at civiccentertv.com/events and see everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. And we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll be talking to Brooke Taylor, student co-chair of the United We Walk Committee.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything Greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programming such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash, as well as coverage of local events and meetings in Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can also watch all of your local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
For every meeting of the West Bloomfield Township Board, join Civic Center TV for a brand new show called West Bloomfield Township Board All Access, airing at 5:30 p.m. Our team will review how to access meeting agendas, go over the key issues on that night's agenda, and talk to township officials about projects happening right here in your hometown. It all happens live at 5:30 p.m. before every meeting of the West Bloomfield Township Board on Civic Center TV and 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
And welcome back. We're joined by Brooke Taylor, student co-chair of the United We Walk Committee. And Brooke, first of all, let me say, I like your name.
Thank you.
So we are talking about a major event coming up, and it is MLK 365 on the Run. What are we doing for others?
Yes.
So tell me about this.
Well, United We Walk this is the 25th anniversary, and it's just great to be a part of it this year. We have an amazing program, then we're walking to resemble Dr. King's Walk, and then we're actually doing a community service event at the end for Grace Centers of Hope.
Okay, so this is being considered a community service event.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about that aspect.
Well, for Grace Center of Hope, we're just helping them bag baskets for food, blankets, just things that we can give back to the less fortunate, and it's a community service event.
Okay, and those donations are still being accepted,
yes.
Right? Okay, so where are those at, and how can people give?
Well, there are baskets in every West Bloomfield school, and you can just give toothbrushes, deodorant, just canned food items, just anything like blankets.
Okay, so pretty much any household item or a personal hygiene item.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you said this is the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. This is a big deal.
Yes. United We Walk first started when West Bloomfield School District Board of Education decided to close all the schools down for Dr. King's birthday. So it's just amazing to have this program up and running for so long.
Okay, so you are a senior.
Yes.
But you've been involved in the program for what you said, 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, but as a different aspect.
Yes.
Right? So tell me about that.
I was actually a dancer in the entertainment portion of the event. I did dances to just...
what kind of dancing is it?
Lyrical, contemporary, just dances that kind of reflect onto Dr. King and what he did in his past.
Okay, so you did say there'll be a dance portion this year. Are you involved in that?
I might be.
Okay. Maybe it's a secret. I don't know. So tell me about the dance, though, because you told me before we came on the air, and it sounds pretty neat.
The dance is entitled Selma's 4 Little Girls, and it's about the church shooting that happened back in Dr. King's life.
You're a senior.
Yes.
And tell me what this means to you to be involved in this event.
It's absolutely amazing, and I feel so honored to actually be involved this year. I can actually see what's going on behind the scenes and how much work it actually takes to make an event like this. Especially the community service portion, I never realized that United We Walk actually did more than just the program. So it's just amazing to see everything come together.
So when did you first start planning? When did the planning start for this?
It started back in September.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people involved. You're one of how many student co-chairs?
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you said a lot of adults come. So tell me about some of the adults who play a part in this.
When we go to meetings, we have a big table of just student co-chairs and the adults. For example, Jennifer Graham, she's a first grade teacher, and she just leads the meeting, and she helps us really guide us through what we need to do and what needs to be done, what date, and it's just very organized.
So this event, in its 25th year, how many participants come to participate in this event? I mean, you guys are behind the scenes, but how many people show up?
We're expecting a full house in the atrium of West Bloomfield High School.
Okay, and so I guess we need to say when this event is.
This event is Sunday, January 20th at West Bloomfield in the atrium.
And what time?
At 2:30, that's when the program starts.
Okay, and the program is at 2:30, and then there's the walk?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me how you feel during the walk.
The walk is just continuing the dream and vision of Dr. King, so it's just reflecting his walk, and I feel so proud to be a part of it, to be a part of what we are doing now. It's the future of Dr. King's once vision, so I just feel amazing being a part of the walk.
When you think back on this time in your life, because you're a senior, so next year you'll be where?
At University of Michigan.
Okay, so next year you'll be in Ann Arbor. And will you come back for this?
Yes, I definitely want to continue to be a part of this great program. I feel like it's kind of my purpose to continue just helping the community and just really making it a better community.
Okay, so people are going to know or want to know where they can find out more information. So tell us how they can contact you, or just any information that we can get out there so people can show up.
The website is unitedwewalk.org, and that's where you can get all your information.
Okay, thank you so much, and good luck on being a senior.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you, Brooke. And we've been joined by Brooke Taylor, student co-chair of the United We Walk Committee. And now it's time for a new episode of Parenting on the Go, where I sat down with Alex Ho to talk about tutoring. Hi, welcome to Parenting on the Go. I'm Brooke Allen, and joining me today is Alex Ho, owner of Sylvan Learning. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
And Sylvan Learning, so tell me, what is that?
So Sylvan Learning, we're a nationwide tutoring center. There's about 800 of us. It's kind of like McDonald's, individually owned. Our center in West Bloomfield was started by my parents 30 years ago. I took it over about in 2012. What we do is we tutor all ages, K through 12, and we tutor in all subject areas. So whether it's, and what we try to do is be a one-stop shop for any parent looking for assistance for their child. So whether that's that one-off tutoring hour that you might see your son struggling with maybe a particular homework assignment. Normally he's a pretty independent student, but one day he just has an issue, you want to stop in for a one-off, to something kind of like regimented. We also have those too.
Oh, okay. So like a big project in the works and you need help.
Yes.
You can come to you.
Yes, absolutely.
Or the regimented once a week.
Exactly.
Okay. And you mentioned all grades. So tell me the different subjects that you've noticed kids struggle with at different ages.
So I would say at the high school level, it's typically math. Math or ACT or SAT related. Algebra 1 is really, which is typically taught at the 8th and 9th grade level, is kind of the key to understanding higher level math topics. So we definitely see a lot of Algebra 1 related math questions at the upper middle to high school. And of course, when they're still the babies, kindergarten, first grade, right. There's generally, a lot of concern and regarding reading, writing. So that's pretty much typically what we see.
Okay, so let's go back to, you mentioned the ACT and the SAT.
Yeah.
So do you specialize in prepping for those, or what kind of help do you offer with that?
Yes, absolutely. So with the ACT, SAT, obviously very, very important assessments. And we have, kind of going back to my one-stop shop, we have programs that are as little as 4 hours that'll kind of give your son or daughter a good overview of what the test will be, for them to kind of, like for instance, if they've never opened a book about it before, or never had too much information about it, we kind of spend a few hours with them so they get a good overview, and then they can go home, digest it, and spend the time doing that independent learning, and then come back to you, mom or dad, and say, hey, I've figured out what I'm great at here. These are some areas I want to do more help with. Can I go back? So that's kind of like a good starter program. Then we have, very comprehensive programs that are, 8 weeks long, 2 days a week, 2 to 4 hours a day.
So intense.
Very intense programs. Okay. And then we have ones that are micro-focused. We realize not every student, wants to get a perfect score. Some just want to improve their score of 100 points so they can get into a particular school, get a particular scholarship. So based upon what your child will need, we can look at your test scores and say, you know what, we can get those 100 points by just focusing here. Oh. So we don't need to look at the whole test.
So really specialized.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go back to the little kids for a minute. Like you mentioned reading, and that's going to become more important because of the third grade reading law.
Yes.
So have you seen an uptick in parents' concern, or how's that working out for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have, whenever parents send their kids for tutoring with us, we'll also reach out to school teachers as well as principals and just introduce ourselves, just so we can make what we teach more relevant to the classroom. And I have by far seen a lot more referrals from principals asking for, what we do for kids of that age, so they can start to, for their students, get them extra help, just so they're ready for that important test that you mentioned.
Okay, and it's all about getting the students ready and actually finding their passion as well and what they're good at too, huh?
Yeah, we're a tutoring company, but what we really want to do is just make students enjoy school more, at least the academic part of it. It may not be so much a test score, but just the process of it, doing homework, taking the test, just making that easier and helping their self-growth.
Thank you so much, and that's very important.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And thank you for watching this episode of Parenting on the Go. And if you would like to look up more helpful parenting tips, you can visit the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance website at wbyouthassistance.org. For more episodes of Parenting on the Go, visit civiccentertv.com/parenting to go. And now it's time for our final segment, Person of the Week, where people in the community inspire and provide toward others. And this week's recipient is Hertha Woodruff, one of the founders of United We Walk in West Bloomfield. Since 1995, Hertha Woodruff has played a key role in one of Greater West Bloomfield's most storied traditions, United We Walk. Shortly after the West Bloomfield School District declared Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a day of observance, Hertha and others in the community went to the Board of Education with an idea for an event that would commemorate Dr. King's legacy and pass his messages of peace, kindness, and care for our neighbor on to people in our community and more. And to this day, Hertha continues to be involved in the planning of United We Walk and has inspired community members both from the school district, the student body of West Bloomfield High School, and throughout Greater West Bloomfield to come together and spread messages of good in our community. Hertha's decades of continued service to our community have spread the ideals of joy, compassion, and service, which is why she is our Person of the Week. And if you know someone who is making a positive difference, let us know. Send an email to thesplash@civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate and thank those making a difference in our community, and we appreciate your suggestions. That's all for this week's show. You can watch new episodes Mondays at 5:30 p.m. at Civic Center TV on Comcast 15, AT&T 99, and online in HD at civiccentertv.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Civic Center TV. And for more Metro Detroit news, you can listen to Greg Bowman and I weekdays from 2 to 7 p.m. on WWJ Newsradio 950. And for all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for watching The Splash.